Hello everyone! How are we doing? Oh, I do not like the glare coming from that, but there's not an awful lot I can do about it. Hey everyone! How's it going? Oh, hello. Of course you hear me speaking. And you think it's time for me to shine. Can you all hear me okay? Can you all hear me okay? I just wanted to check. Seems like my mic levels are alright. What would you rather have? The glare from the light or the glare from Millie? Oh, absolutely the glare from Millie. Come here. Oh my gosh, she always has to be the centre of attention. Come here. Yes. You were asleep. You were fast asleep. Come on then. You want to come up and say hi? Come up and say hi. Come and give the people what they want. No, I didn't think so. Alright, so welcome to another solo spotlight stream. Already I know that I have been a major disappointment in this stream because I don't have a lab coat, and I normally like to dress up a little bit for these streams and try and fit the vibes. I absolutely look in no way like a lab assistant right now, which is a real crying shame. But I'll be honest with you guys, I've been feeling a little rough today. I've been feeling a bit under the weather, so I tried to not apply too much pressure to myself, but I really, really wanted to play this game, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it, and I'm just gonna have to not go full costume this time around. So sorry about that. I'm honestly dressed like half your lab. Great. Well then, I need you to know, Ren, that what you're about to experience is me trying to inhabit the character of a lab assistant, a research assistant, and I have never worked in a lab before. I don't know anything about labs, so this is gonna be an interesting experience for all of us, I think. So this is a solo spotlight stream. I do these every Thursday, or I try to do these every Thursday. The last couple of Thursdays have been a little bit of a miss for a number of reasons, but I am back. And this time I am going to be playing Outliers by Samantha Lee and oh god, I gotta say it right. It's doing the thing again. It's not showing me. Moobot is not, is Moobot showing up for you guys? No. What's happening here? What is happening here? I swear to you all, I had this all prepped. But it should be doing like a timer, and it should be every few messages, so I'm really not sure what's going on. But I am playing Outliers by Sam Lee and Far Horizons Co-op. It is a solo journaling game, and you play a research assistant trying to do their job in an absurd environment. Recruit participants, collect data, and perform miscellaneous tasks around the lab before the study runs out of funds. Keeping your job shouldn't be hard when your participants are clones, time travelers, and cryptids, right? What? I lied to you all on the tweet. I told you this was mundane, and it's not. It's it's got some weirdness to it. Yeah, I think it wouldn't really be a game that I play without a little bit of weirdness. But yeah, what I love about this game is Sam, the writer of this game, also wrote an amazing solo journaling game called Anamnesis. They themselves have also worked in a lab. So they're kind of drawing on a lot of experience when creating this game, but making it kind of a little bit fun. Why is this not working? That's gonna annoy me. Okay. Well, let's pop this up and just see if that works. Cool. Just the timer that's not working. Fine. So, how are we all, by the way? I hope everyone is doing really. I just gotta make sure she's not, like, too close to my chair, because when she gets too close to my chair, I move around a lot on this chair, and I get really worried that I'm gonna squash her little toe beans one day. And she'll let me know about it as well. She's gonna tell me it's all my fault. And that's kind of not cool, because she's the one. Oh, she's not gotten her treats. You did redeem treats, you're right. Let's see if I can summon her back. Millie! Oh, I hear. Oh my goodness, Jen, I wish you had been able to see that. She ran. Hey! Hey, these are treats. These are from Jen. Was it Jen? Was it Jen that did this? I think it was Jen. It was Jen. These are from Jen. There you go. We'll take some of those. Chicken. We love it. Okay. So, I think I just need one of these. So let's get started. Obviously, first of all, let's have a quick look at this art that's on the screen at the moment. All of the art in this book is really cool. I love that it's basically just pictures of like binders and it's where my non-scientific background is showing weird sciencey stuff, but it's also got some like weird cryptidness and strangeness to it. Like there's a pile of books there, and then there's like little bugs and goopy milk. I don't think I'm identifying any of this correctly. I would be a very, very bad scientist, is what we're discovering here. And yeah, so the art is incredible. That's number one. Number two, oh no, wrong thing there. Goopy milk. I have a sort of a setup ready, as you can see. Let me explain. So this this game is using the tumbling block tower. I think I've played one game in the past, Mountaintop Isolation, that used a tumbling block tower mechanic. This is going to literally be here to see whether I achieve funding or not. Every time something costs a lot of money, I am taking away a block and placing it on top. If the tower collapses before I raise the funds, then I did not raise the funds. I assume, I have not looked at the ending of this game, but I assume something awful happens to me or to the lab or maybe the world. Who knows? Or it might just be like, nope, you didn't get the funds. Better luck next time, and that's it. I tried to go for the most, like, if you listen to the music, I tried to go for the most corporate-y sounding music I could find that was like a bit peppy and a bit upbeat, but also a bit weird and strange and slightly sci-fi. So tumbling block tower, almost sent it flying then. That would have been an excellent start. Obviously I have my hard copy of the game, and it is, look at this. It looks like a research journal. It looks like you would go into like this is a UK reference, W.H. Smith's, and buy something like this. Buy a little binder like this with like for note taking. I have a die. I'm having a moment here, guys. Have a pack of cards, and so the game requested that I get sort of 10 tokens, and whenever I play a game that asks me to grab like tokens, I always like struggle. I'm like, what do I have that I have 10 of? And normally I just use dice. I have loads of dice, but I remembered today that my beautiful cat loves to play with pom-poms. It's like her favorite thing to do. And so I have a bumper bag full of pom-poms. And I decided that my tokens today are going to be pom-poms. This is where we're at. Yeah, so I have 10, I believe it said 10. Let me just check that. A notebook to write in. Yes, I have that. A standard deck of playing cards, got that, with jokers removed, so no jokers, guys. A 6-sided die. Oh, it is die. Yes, 1d6. I should have just gone with that. 10 tokens. Coins, beads, or any other small objects. These pom-poms are small enough, right? And a tumbling block tower. The tumbling block tower, by the way, is optional. There is a way of working out like your decrease of funds throughout the game without the tumbling block, but I bought this purposely for a different solo game, and I'll be damned if I don't use it every single time I encounter something that has a tumbling block tower mechanic, because that's what I bought it for, right? Cool. Hello, people that have just joined. Hello, lurkers. Euphoria. Hello. Thank you for joining. Cool. So let me get onto the writing document. As you can see, I have already named myself. Those of you who know me know that I struggle with creating names in the moment, or I should say I don't struggle necessarily, I overthink it. A name pops into my head and then I spiral into crippling self-doubt as if that name is the right name or a good enough name, or perhaps I should think of a better name, and then it just gets worse and worse until I am frozen in fear at even thinking of names, and I've forgotten every name that ever exists as well at the same time. So now I try to name myself before the stream just so that I can get that out the way. I have gone with Evelyn Schwartz as my character's name, and we will be starting, as most people do, on day one of Evelyn Schwartz's time in this absolutely perfectly normal, not at all weird lab. So, without further ado, safety procedures. Just to let you know, there are a few content warnings. It does say memory loss, mind control, rituals, and teeth. So if any of those make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, I will be reviewing each prompt as I get to it. It very much states that if you don't feel comfortable answering a prompt, just draw a new card. So if I look at a prompt and think, I don't know how I feel about that, then that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But I cannot guarantee, especially with those things that I just listed out, that we will not at some point encounter them. So that's just something for you to bear in mind. Cool. So the goal of Outliers is to help our lab obtain a new grant before A, the study runs out of funds and you're laid off. Oh, okay, so that's the weird thing that happens. I'm just fired. Oh no, I'm fired! My first job straight out of college and I'm fired. Or B, the IRB shuts the study down because there are too many deviations from procedure. Good research findings come from good data collection, and you're the boots on the ground. Each day at the lab, you will perform tasks as a research assistant to the best of your ability, using your resourcefulness to solve unforeseen problems. Set up the tumbling block tower. I have done so here. This tower represents how much funding is left in the study. Whenever you pull a block from the tower, place the block back on top of the tower. Makes sense. I've kept forgetting to do that during mountaintop isolation though, so just bear with me if I do. When the tower falls, the study runs out of money and the game ends. Next, set up your lab notebook. Oh boy, reading is going to be a thing for me today, isn't it? Record your name and write day one near the top of the first page. As you could all see, I have managed to do this as well. Keep track of what you do in the lab by recording it in your notebook. So, this game, guys, is a really, really, really simple game. And that's kind of what drew me to it, actually. A few of the solo games that I've played recently have had, I wouldn't necessarily say complicated mechanics, but they've certainly, well, for small creatures such as we, had a lot in it. But they've definitely had a lot more mechanics for me to kind of work my way through and just make sure I understood and have to refer back to. This has a very, very simple gameplay loop. And honestly, in a day that I'm feeling a little rough, that's a perfect game for me to play. So I start a new page of my notebook, which I have already done. I tell them what day it is. I have done that. It is day one. I roll a d6 to determine how many notable events occurred on this day, and then I draw that many cards from the deck. Then number 3, I check the corresponding prompt for each card, reflect on the question in the prompt, and then follow any instructions included in the prompt. So So that will probably be instructions such as pull a block from the tower. At the end of the day, record what you did in your lab notebook, discard the cards you drew that day unless instructed otherwise. Cool. Really, really simple. And obviously we got it divided into 4 suits. Hearts is prompts kind of around recruitment. You can't have a human research study without participants. Diamonds is around consent and screening. Clubs is around data collection. Spades is around, I guess, everything else. Miscellaneous. Everything else. So yeah, it sounds pretty easy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm now gonna roll my first d6. You you're not by the chat. Okay, good. 4 notable events are going to happen on this day. So, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of, I'll write them out. I'll break them down, and then I will write my kind of full log of the day once I've kind of got all the events sorted, because obviously I will have to draw the cards and then do any instructions that it says, and that bit comes first, and then I will be logging my day. So let's draw 4 cards then. Now I am notoriously bad at shuffling, so I'm gonna just draw randomly from the pack. Actually, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I did shuffle, but in the past that has proved fruitless, and I've kind of ended up still being really bad at it. I'm interested actually I haven't seen where the tokens are gonna come in yet. I'm guessing this is to do with the instructions. So let's play and see where they come in, but currently I have not actually got a Scooby what the tokens are for. Does it say anywhere that I'm not reading? Fourth tower. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. That's the thing. I see. So this is to do with raising funds. Got it. When you've drawn an ace, then it's to do with getting the tokens. Got it. Okay, cool. We won't read any further until we have seen what we have drawn. So let's have a little look at these then. So go with card number 1 is the 7 of clubs. 7 clubs. I'm just going to write it so that I can go. Well, actually, no. Let's do this one at a time. So let's find the 7 of clubs. And I think clubs was miscellaneous. No, clubs was data collection. My apologies. Number 7. While giving instructions for a test, you look down at your binder and read from the official script. The words have changed since the last participant. Which incantation do you accidentally speak? Okay, that's interesting. So already I am causing absolute chaos by what? Do I summon a demon perhaps while I'm doing this? Who knows? So this is this. Oh, why have you not? I don't like that you've done that. There we go. Cool. I'm gonna write that over. Next, the King of Spades. Now, Spades was miscellaneous. King of Spades. Oh, my apologies as well. I'm already failing. That last one, which incantation do you accidentally speak? I'm guessing this is to do with the anomalies. Because I fucked it basically by speaking an incantation that I wasn't supposed to speak. So I have to pull from pull from the tower already. Now I'm kind of frightened of this bit. I'm not gonna lie. This is the bit that scares me because when I bought a tumbling block tower, I didn't think about the fact that this teeny tiny one is going to be difficult to actually pull blocks from. Did I fucking anomaly? I see how you managed to get that from what I said, yes. Okay, let me pull from this tower. I think you're really, really underestimating how badly this could go wrong. Okay, it's fine. Let's go for this one. Oh, God. Do you know what? Because I'm not feeling very well, I also have slightly shaky hands today. This was a bad idea. There we go. Cool. I got it out. So, I pulled out. Hey. Say that too loud and the tower might hear you. It might, yeah. Cool. So, I pulled from the tower. That's fine. We then move on to the King of Spades. Thank you, Ren. You're very supportive, and I really appreciate your faith in me. Okay, so King of Spades. The study is audited. This doesn't sound good. Something seeps into the lab and starts paging through the regulatory binder. You realize too late that you forgot to add the IRB's official blood seal of approval, which is still sitting in your desk drawer. How do you distract the auditor long enough to slip the blood seal into the binder? Keep this card... Oh no, this is a bad one. Okay. Yes, do you know, this is... I didn't look to see if this is officially using this system, but it must be because it's got so many similarities to it. I believe this is using the Wretched and Alone system, which Tumbling Block Tower might seem like a dead giveaway, but I don't like to assume that every Tumbling Block Tower game is a Wretched and Alone game. However, you know, the King being particularly bad... and then sort of pull from the tower prompts. There is a way to win, but it's quite difficult. This all sounds very Wretched and Alone, which is a great system, and it's what I used for Mountaintop Isolation. What was used for Mountaintop Isolation by Lalion. So, cool. So this is a bad one. I've just pulled my first really awful card. So I'm going to put him here. Got a little owl on it. Quite a cute owl, actually. It's a shame that you are a demon. I've decided that this auditor is gonna have some kind of owl-esque, just because it's this card. So keep this card next to you. Once you have drawn all 4 kings, the IRB shuts down the study. You are laid off and the game is over. So basically, now there's 2 things that could shut down my study. It's the Tumbling Block Tower going tumbling and me drawing all 4 kings. So as you can see, it's a little bit more difficult to win than it is to lose. And that's fine. Cool. Let me just copy that across so I have that prompt to look at. So, King Spades. Cool. Yes, I can't help but just edit on that. Alright. Number 3. What are we drawing next? Oh no, I'm taking that. So this is going to be discarded, actually, number 7. So let's put that to the side. 2 of Hearts. Getting a little bit of everything, guys. This is so rare for me. Normally, when I pull cards after shuffling the deck for half an hour, it's 2 of Hearts, 3 of Hearts, 4 of Hearts, 6 of Spades, 5 of Hearts. Cool. 2 of Hearts. When you arrive at the lab, there is a message on the answering machine from someone interested in the study. When you press play, static crackles along your skin. The message is in you. Ah! Do you return their call? Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Also, I'm noting these prompts down. I'm thinking that you don't have to do them in order necessarily. It's you do the instructions in order, obviously, but I think like you don't have to actually prompt like write these in order. 2 hearts. And last one, number 4. Let's separate these a bit because it's all this text. It's a big wall of text and I don't like it. And yes, I'm aware I'm getting a little bit caught up in something that's really not that big a deal. Okay. You're right. I'm getting caught up. This is what happens to me when I try and write. It's just me self-editing as I go along. Oh no, the goopy milk is in you. Cool. That's what I wanted to hear. That's a sentence I wanted to read. 2 of hearts is going to get discarded, and there was no instruction with this one, so there was no like call from the tower. So that's fine. And then this last one, 6 of spades. 6 of spades. So, what have we got here? Okay. The PI. I guess this is the name of the company. The PI asks you to purchase a dozen porcelain clown dolls for the study. Oh. That doesn't sound good. You buy the dolls using the lab's purchasing card and submit the receipt. The finance department gets back to you and asks for a research purpose for the dolls. What do you tell them? I tell them that the PI damn well asked me to. Is the PI Ren? Is the PI the? Did I miss this as the name of the company, or is the PI like a special? Oh, principal investigator, your boss. Okay, my boss. Deflecting all the way, baby. That's what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm not paid enough to take responsibility for this. Cool. And then I do have to pull from the tower. All right, let me... It might be actually completely worthless running these. Could you imagine if on my first day I got the entire study shut down? Could you imagine if I did that? Just because I got the PI into an argument with the principal, with the finance department, and then they were like, shut the study down, you're doing something illegal with those dolls. And I'm like, bro, this is my first day, I just got here. You know? Okay, I don't know why it keeps changing things up. I'm getting upset with it. I don't know what to tell you all, but just know that it hurts me like it hurts you. I don't think it hurts any of you, actually. It probably is just me. 6 of spades, 6 of spades. Why am I noting down what I drew? No idea. Actually, I don't know. Probably I don't need it. But here we are. Okay, so these are my 4 prompts. Let me pull from the tower again. Yay. Yay. Now, what did I do before? So then... Let's do this. Nope, let's not do that. Let's do that. Oh, God. This is not easy. This is not easy. I think I'm gonna have to pull a bit further up. The smaller ones down the bottom are like... Okay, here we go. Something wants to come out. Oh no, but I think I might have made a terrible mistake here. Oh, I think I made a terrible mistake here. I think I made a terrible... Guys, if this happens on my second pull from the tower, I'm starting again. Ah! Okay. Alright. Everyone chill out. Oh boy. Don't be a perfectionist, cat. Okay, so, cool. Almost just bloody sent it tumbling. Yeah, I should have got... Yeah, that was... No, that wasn't brave. That was foolish. That was foolish. That was tomfoolery. That's what it was. That was not brave at all. That was just me not remembering how to play... I was going to say Jenga. I'm not sponsored by Jenga, but that's what happened there. Alright, so let's head back to our writing screen. So we have 4 prompts. We have the fact that words have changed from the official script and I accidentally let out an incantation. The study is audited. Interesting. When you arrive at the lab, there's a message on the answering machine. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with that one. That's going to be like, it's your first day, you get there, the first thing that happens is that there's a message from something or someone that wants to take part in your study. And then I think we'll then have a little task of figuring out the porcelain dolls. And then we have an audited study, and I guess the other 2 can kind of come in the same thing. You're doing the study and it's also being audited, and you forgot to do the blood seal of approval. Okay. So let's start with the... Do you know what? What I will say about this game is, so it says when you kind of drawing from your prompts, it says to roll a d6 and that's how many events you happen in the day. I feel like I could just do like each day being one event. I don't feel like I need like 4 events for one day. That to me feels like a lot, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, but like I'm just reading all this and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta have all these things happen. But I guess what I would do is probably not, I'm gonna try not to write anything that's too long. Let's go for 14. Okay. So, birthday on the job. It did say somewhere the name of this company, I think. The IRB. Again, Ren, you might know this. The IRB, do you know, is this a thing? Is this a thing that is real, or... is this what they've, like, called? Maybe I'll find the answer to that in... if I actually just read the book. No, I don't want to look here. Oh no, what have I done now? Okay. I actually can't get rid of that. which is kind of annoying. How has that happened? Can you tell I'm, like, not really a good techie? I'm not good at being a techie. Weird. Okay. So, what I wanted to do... Let's look in here. IRB... It just says IRB. I don't see anything that kind of... Oh, institutional... Institutional Review Board. Oh. International Regulatory Board. So, oh, because... So this is American based, so maybe it's something different over there. Maybe it's the IRB still, but they call it the Institutional Review Board. A committee that reviews human research procedures to ensure studies are ethical. Most institutions that conduct human research have an IRB. Protocols, consent forms, advertisements, questionnaires, and other study documents must be submitted to the IRB for approval before participants are enrolled in the study. All modifications to study procedures must be submitted to the IRB, and any deviations away from procedure must be reported. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, International Regulatory Board, Institutional Review Board. I mean, to me, it sounds like they do the same thing. So it might be, because this is from an American lens, so. Okay. First day on the job. This is annoying. I want it out the way. I don't know how to get rid of this. Can I just... Is it appearing here, guys? No, it's not. Okay, well, as long as you can't see it, that's fine. Oh, you kind of can. Okay, that's fine. For some reason, but basically find and replace, I accidentally Command F, and for some reason it won't go away now. But let's just move it down there and figure it out. First day on the job. So, when you arrive at lab, there is a message on the answering machine from someone interested in the study. When you press play, static crackles along your skin. It's such an interesting prompt. Hope they don't give you... Alco... Ooh, what does that mean? I tried hitting escape. Jen, it's because I have a... I tried hitting escape, but, like, apparently I didn't try hitting escape hard enough. And this time when I hit escape, it worked. Yeah, it was because I have second screen up, so it just kind of came up. Anyway, thanks, Jen. Making me look like a fool again. It's fine, I do it just fine by myself. Okay, first day on the job. And I'm ready to impress. It's to remind you how to record data. That sounds like a mouthful, though. Like, I wouldn't... Oh, I guess it must work for you, right? So I guess it's like the process. Each letter stands for like a... Like... Analyze. Can't think of any words beginning with L right now. Lamp. I'm just gonna shut up. I think I'm just a bit too tired today, I think. Okay, first I'm on the job and I'm ready to impress my... Now, to be a lab assistant, could I fresh out of college? Let's say college. My college tutors, often labeled me as eager. And that was years into... let's move this down a bit so you can actually see what I'm writing. Education. So imagine how I tackle a brand new life experience. How much of a dweeb do I want to make this character? I've wanted to work in a lab. It's not a dweeb. I had no aspirations when I was a child, really, so I wanted to work in a lab. I was 7 years old and considering... Is getting a position as like a research assistant, is it difficult? Is it difficult? I'm about to say that it's difficult. I don't know if it actually... If it's like... So when you go to university and then they're like, yeah, just get your degree, and then you go out and then you just apply for a job and you might have to apply 1 or 2 times, but you'll get it. And then there are people that are like, oh, I was in higher education. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Is it competitive? Cool. So it's a competitive field. That's what I wanted to know. So I wanted to work in a lab since I was 7-year-old, and considering how competitive, thank you, Ren, the competitive positions are in this day and age, I was actually quite shocked that... see, now I want to give this, like, company a name. And I feel like I should have made up that name before I came to play this. I was actually quite shocked that, let's call it something that sounds a bit spooky, but also sounds a bit like it could be like a spectre. Let's call it Spectre. Spectre snapped me up so quickly. I'm not overly sure what to expect. The focus of our research was a little vague in the advertisement. I'm excited to get stuck in. Here we go, Evelyn. Okay. My colleagues seem less enthused to meet me. They greet me with silence as I walk in. Noses buried in papers and setting up the equipment around the lab for the day. I look around and approach in an older, balding man with a thick moustache. Moustache. I look around and approach an older balding man with a thick moustache. Excuse me. It was Evelyn, wasn't it? Evelyn Schwartz. I'm new here. Lockers are out back. Get your coat on. Then pick up anything important from the machine. I look around at the many machines, which he tucks and rolls his eyes, gesturing to the phone. The answering machine. Oh, right. He shakes his head. Then I'm gonna make this a little bit like weird, because obviously all these people know what they're doing in this weird lab where strange things are definitely gonna start happening. So he shakes his head, then leans in and sniffs the paper deeply. Then licks it. After a moment of contemplation, he smiled. Huh. Interesting. Then goes back to reading. Already starting to get a bit weird. I decide not to speak to him anymore for the moment. I head to the lockers. Alright, let's move on to the answering machine prompt. So, cool. Let's just read it again. When you arrive at the lab, there is a message on the answering machine from someone interested in the study. When you press play, static crackles along your skin. The message is in you. Do you return their call? music's kind of a vibe, you know. Alright, so I head over to the answering machine. Catching the eye this time of a couple of busy looking researchers. They seem to be arguing about the exact taste of smoke. It's smoky, isn't it? I interject. Like, smoke is smoky. One of them scoffs. You're going to need to refine your palate. Oh, how do I spell palate? Like this? I'm trying to remember if it's that or P-A-L-E-T-E, or is it like a completely different spelling? Oh my goodness. Ah, it is a completely different spelling. I knew it. I was like, that can't be right. Palette. There we go. Goodness me. Thank you, Jen. You're going to need to refine your palette. Oh, no, I haven't done this. So, away. It seems I'm going to have to work hard to impress anyone here. The answering machine begins to drone ominously as I approach, loudly too, though no one looks up at the noise. I pick it up and search for buttons that might allow me to check for messages. I find nothing. What are you doing? The mustached man asks, looking perplexed. Pretty bold words from a man who licks paper. Good old judgment, let's say. Ren! Synergistic Paraphysical Exploration Center for Spatiotemporal Research Endeavors. What? Heck yeah! there. Oh, you're great. Okay, I need to write that down. Yeah. You've been thinking. Let me write that down. Spectre. Synergistic. It all sounds so scientific. Synergistic. Paraphysical. Exploration. Center. For. Spatio-temporal research endeavors. I flippin' love that. Spectre, Synergistic Paraphysical Exploration Center for spatio-temporal research endeavors. Flippin' heck yes, Ren, you're amazing. Okay. What are you doing, the man? The moustache man asks, looking perplexed. Pretty bold judgment from a man who licks paper. I'm trying to get messages from the machine, like you asked. Yes, you have one. You would you like to feel? Yes, you have one new message. Would you like to feel it? Ooh, giving myself the creeps here. Let's make that big. Like it's being yelled. And italic, why not? Can you italic this? You can't italic this? What is the use? Madness. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Let's do that. Back to 14. Cool. Yes, you have one new message. Would you like to feel it? Feel? I'd like to listen. At this point, I'm bamboozled and beginning to suspect that this is some kind of prank being pulled. Listen. Yeah. This is what we meant. Suddenly, I feel sparks, a light around my skin. A strange, staticky feeling that works its way through my fingertips and sets my hairs on end. It travels up to my tongue, and with it comes a message. Moustache man listens intently as I garble it aloud, unable to do anything else. A potential participant for some kind of study. Something to do with sigils and heat and therapy. As I finish, I cough. What is this place? I yell. What the heck was that? You get used to it. He grins. Name's Bob, by the way. Can you give him a call back? And just how am I supposed to do that? Think about it really hard. His smile widens. I end up getting through to a 32,000-year-old demonic entity from planet Zar. Evelyn is not getting paid enough for this. Absolutely. And letting them know to come in tomorrow to fill in some forms. What the fuck have I signed up for? Alright, that's prompt number 1. This is what I'm talking about, though. I'd quite like to just be, like, kind of going back to the mechanics at this point, but now I've got, like, oh, I've got three more prompts. Maybe it's because I wrote a lot. Remember when I said, oh, try not to write too much? That didn't happen. Okay. PI. Principal investigator. I'm learning, see? The principal investigator asks you to purchase a dozen porcelain clown dolls for the study. You buy the dolls using the lab's purchasing card and submit the receipt. Finance ain't happy. And they want to know what you want to use the dolls for. What do you tell them? Ah, classic workplace politics. My next job is no less unusual than the first. I finally get to meet my principal investigator, Larry. I'm coming up with these names quite quick, actually. I'm quite impressed with myself. Larry. He's a brusque, short man with a defensive attitude. He snaps at me to stop being so damned happy. The rest of the lab shoot me a sympathetic look, and I realize this is the thing that everyone is united on. Their hatred for this man. I need dolls. Excuse me. 12 of them. Possessed. Quick as you can. Possessed? You mean like ghosts, demons? Be specific, boss. Bob interjects. Ghosts. Of course. A different kind for each doll. Diverse age groups. Grouping into possessors, please. Or at least in how old they were when they died. I like Larry too. Diverse age grouping in the possessors, please, or at least in how old they were when they died. Let's go. 1594 to 1807. No later. Is this an approved study, or do we need paperwork for the... I don't pay you to question me. I'm not asking much. Just bill finance. Now, don't bother me again. He storms away. As it turns out, sourcing the dolls is not my biggest concern. Poor Larry probably stress led out because of the upcoming audit. Yes, I think that that could be the case. Absolutely. Sourcing the dollars is not my biggest concern. Bob takes me on trip through hyper void. What is hyper void? No one needs to know. About 20 different haunted antique or toy shops in about 6 milliseconds. We get dolls. Creepy ass things. The problem comes when we try to claim back expenses. I submit my receipts and am quite proud and happy to be doing something a little more mundane and rooted in reality. I hated maths at school. Now it is my savior in this strange lab of weirdness. Let's just go with a strange lab. My workings are probably a little too thorough. I receive a phone call from an antique telephone that I hadn't noticed when I walked in, despite how out of place it was. It's for you, remarks Bob. It's finance, scoffs fits one of the smoke connoisseurs. Oh, I'm spelling things wrong again. There we go. Missed out a good few letters there. I frown and pick it up. Good afternoon. Evelyn Schwartz. 321B. I need a street name. Just go. I really wanted to say Baker Street, and my brain just keeps being like Baker Street, and I'm like, that's not going Baker. Browns. 321B Browns. Coordinates. 56. It's 321. That's probably like not even a real coordinate. Good afternoon, Evelyn Schwartz, 321B Browns, coordinates 56. 321. It's Janine from finance. Her monotonous tone has me instantly sleepy. Unnaturally so. I have here a receipt you submitted for a 12 haunted doll. Now 11 of the dolls submitted for have been approved. The 12th is causing us to, frankly, scratch our heads and wonder just what do you need these dolls for? I was asked Bob shakes his head no emphatically and draws a line across his neck. Was asked by the ghosts. You see, 11 is a very unlucky number. Very unlucky indeed. At least where the dead are concerned. So I figured that in order not to lose our 11 subjects, I would introduce the 12th as a control group. I see. Janine is silent for half an hour. Several times I ask if she's still there and am met with nothing. But when I go to hang up, I cannot let go of the receiver. Eventually, as if now you're cooking with science. Eventually, as if we never left, she responds with disinterest. Your 12th doll has been approved. Have yourself a wonderful day, Evelyn. When I come off the phone, Bob claps my shoulder. Excellent thinking. Larry and Janine dated a while back. It did not end well. If you told her that he was involved, she'd likely have sucked your eyeballs, oh gross, through the receiver to punish him. I've seen it happen, you know. Poor Dave. He laughs. Hello, Alec. How are you doing today? Damn, this is a long entry, isn't it? I'm doing okay. I'm glad to hear it. I am playing a game called Outliers, which is essentially you are a lab assistant, but the lab is a little bit weird. Gonna go get a photo. Ooh, yum. Yummy. I don't think we have that here. It's a restaurant, right? I am thinking that's a restaurant. I'm correct in thinking that? You're about to tell me, it's not a restaurant, Cat. What are you talking about? And I'll be like, oh. Ah, I see. Okay, so it's like it's a type of food. Sorry, for some reason I thought it was a restaurant. I've never had it. I've never had Vietnamese soup before. Maybe we do have a restaurant that's called that here. I'm sure I've heard of it being a restaurant name. Oh. Ah! See, I thought so. I was like, I've definitely heard that before. Maybe it's a British restaurant chain? I'm not sure. You and I are going to go get pho when I'm in town. Absolutely. Let's try it. Let me see if I can find... Oh, yeah. Like, literally... literally, pho cafe. There literally is a place called Faux. It's like a chain that's in London. Interesting. That sounds quite yum. 24-hour. Oh, am I pronouncing it wrong? I'm sorry. Fa. I apologise. That's my British coming out again. Trying to just pronouncing everything wrong, massacring other languages. Okay, let's have a quick read through. So, first day on the job, ready to impress. My college tutors often labelled me as eager. That was years into education, so imagine how I tackle a brand new life experience. I've wanted to work in a lab since I was 7 years old, and considering how competitive positions are in this day and age, I was actually quite shocked that Spectre now this one Ren came up with Synergistic Paraphysical Exploration Centre for Spatio-Temporal Research Endeavours snapped me up so quickly. I'm not overly sure of what to expect. The focus of our research was a little vague in the advertisement, but I'm excited to get stuck in. My colleagues seem less enthused to meet me. They greet me with silence as I walk in, noses buried in papers and setting up the equipment around the lab for the day. I look around and approach an older balding man with a thick moustache. Excuse me, I'm Evelyn Schwartz. I'm new here. Lockers are out back. Get your coat on. Pick up anything important from the machine. I look around at the many machines. Which? He tuts and rolls his eyes, gesturing to the phone. The answering machine. Oh, right. He shakes his head, then leans in and sniffs the paper deeply, then licks it. After a moment of contemplation, he smiles. Huh, interesting, then goes back to reading. I decide not to speak to him anymore for the moment, and I head to the lockers. Head over to the answering machine, catching the eye this time of a couple of busy-looking researchers. They seem to be arguing about the exact taste of smoke. It's smoky, isn't it? I interject. Like, smoke is smoky? One of them scoffs. You're going to need to refine your palate. I sigh and walk away. It seems I'm going to have to work hard to impress anyone here. The answering machine begins to drone ominously as I approach. Loudly too, though no one looks up at the noise. I pick it up and search for buttons that might allow me to check for messages. I find nothing. What are you doing? The moustache man asked, looking perplexed. Pretty bold judgment from a man who licks paper. I'm trying to get messages from the machine, like you asked. Yes, you have one new message. Would you like to feel it? Feel? I'd like to listen. At this point, I'm bamboozled and beginning to suspect that this is some kind of prank being pulled on me. Listen, yes, this is what we meant. Listen well. Suddenly, I feel sparks alight round my skin, a strong staticky feeling that works its way through my fingertips and sets my hair on end. It travels up to my tongue, and with it comes a message. Moustache Man listens intently as I garble it aloud, unable to do anything else. A potential participant for some kind of study, something to do with sigils and heat and therapy. As I finish, I cough. What is this place? I yell. What the heck was that? You get used to it, he grins. Name's Bob, by the way. Can you give him a call back? And just how am I supposed to do that? Think about it really hard? His smile widens. I end up getting through to a 32,000-year-old demonic entity from the planet Zaza and letting them know to come in tomorrow to fill in some forms. What the fuck have I signed up for? My next job is no less unusual than the first. I finally get to meet my principal investigator, Larry. He's a brusque, short man with a defensive attitude and Ren's favourite character so far. He snaps at me to stop being so damned happy. The rest of the lab shoot me a sympathetic look, and I realise this is the thing that everyone is united on. Their hatred for this man. I need dolls. Excuse me? 12 of them. Possessed. Quick as you can. Possessed? You mean like ghosts, demons? Be specific, boss. Bob interjects. Ghosts, of course. A different kind for each doll. Diverse age grouping in the possessors, please. At least in how old they were when they died. Let's go 1594 to 1807 death date. No later. Is this an approved study, or do we need paperwork for the... I don't pay you to question me. I'm not asking much, just bill finance. Now don't bother me again. He storms away. As it turns out, sourcing the dolls is not my biggest concern. Bob takes me on a trip through Hypervoid to about 20 different haunted antique or toy shops in about 6 milliseconds. We get the dolls, creepy ass things. The problem comes when we try to claim back expenses. I submit my receipts and I'm quite proud and happy to be doing something a little more mundane and rooted in reality. I hated maths at school. Now it is my saviour in this strange lab. My workings are probably a little too thorough. I receive a phone call from an antique telephone that I hadn't noticed when I walked in, despite how out of place it was. "It's for you," remarks Bob. "It's finance," scoffs Fitz, one of the smoke connoisseurs. I frown and pick it up. "Good afternoon, Evelyn Schwartzer 321B, Brown's coordinates 56 minus 321. It's Janine from finance." Her monotonous tone has me instantly sleepy, unnaturally so. "I have here a receipt that you submitted for a 12th haunted doll. Now 11 of the dolls you have submitted for have been approved, but the 12th is causing us to, frankly, scratch our heads and wonder, just what do you need these dolls for?" "I was asked..." Bob shakes his head no emphatically and draws a line across his neck. "Was asked by the, ghosts? You see, 11 is a very unlucky number. Very unlucky indeed, at least where the dead are concerned, so I figured that in order not to lose our 11 subjects, I would introduce the 12th as a control group." "I see." Janine is silent for half an hour. Several times I ask if she's still there and am met with nothing, but when I go to hang up, I cannot let go of the receiver. Eventually, as if she's never left, she responds with a disinterest. "Your 12th doll has been approved. Have yourself a wonderful day, Evelyn." When I come off the phone, Bob claps my shoulder. "Excellent thinking. Larry and Janine dated a while back. It did not end well. If you told her that he was involved, she'd likely have sucked your eyeballs through the receiver to punish him. I've seen it happen, you know. Poor Dave." He laughs. Alright. Weird enough? I think it's weird enough. So, you know what I'm going to do? I know that we haven't done huge amounts with the mechanics yet. I am going to go and take a break, though, because my back is hurting a little bit, and I just need to stretch my legs and refill my drink. So I'll take a 5-minute break, and what time actually is it? Oh, it's like 10 to 10, cool. And then I will be back, and we will work through the other 2 prompts, and then draw for our next lot, I suppose. This is all happening in day 1. This is quite a lot. I'm probably going to mix the other 2 prompts together as one big prompt because it's all to do with a study. So I think we had when giving instructions for a test, you look down at your binder and read from the official script. The words have changed since the last participant. What incantation do you accidentally speak? And the study is audited. Something seeps into the lab and starts paging through the regulatory binder. You realise too late that you forgot to add the IRB's official blood seal of approval, which is still sitting in your desk drawer. How do you distract the auditor long enough to slip the blood seal into the binder? So I'm going to try to pop those 2 as kind of like one thing, because you're being audited in the study, so it makes sense that you would be using the script and doing the test. And I guess we'll see how that goes, and then I will start to look at my next lot of instructions, and see where I am time-wise as well. So I'll be back in a tickety-boo, I guess. See you soon. Bye. Hey everyone, I'm back. Oh. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Is this logged in? Is this on? Did it turn itself off? That was unsuccessful. That was an unsuccessful return. Hey everyone, I'm back. How are we doing? I am back playing Outliers by Sam Lee and Far Horizons Co-op. For those of you that might have just joined us, this is a single-player journaling game in which you play a research assistant trying to do their job in an absurd environment, and it has been absolutely absurd so far. Recruit participants, collect data, perform miscellaneous tasks around the lab before the study runs out of funds. Keeping your job shouldn't be hard when your participants are clones, time travelers, and cryptids, right? Check it out here. So let's get that in. It's called Outliers, and I'm having an absolute ton of fun of it so far. And I hope those of you that have kind of joined so far are also having fun. Yeah, this has been great. So, let's go back to where we were. I believe that we have a couple of prompts left to do for day one. We are still on day one. But you know what? I guess day one was always going to be like the most interesting day. Where it's our first time encountering all of this madness. So what we have left is, while giving instruction for a test, you look down at your binder and read from the official script. The words have changed since the last participant. Which incantation do you accidentally speak? And the study is audited. Something seeps into the lab and starts paging through the regulatory binder. You realise too late that you forgot to add the IRB's official blood seal of approval, which is still sitting in your desk drawer. How do you distract the auditor long enough to slip the blood seal into the binder? Interesting. So, I feel like these are going to combine together. And I think this is how I'm going to distract, is by accidentally speaking this incantation. Which will be interesting. So, let's have a little look. Larry's mood lifts for 20 minutes or so when he learns of my quick success with getting the dolls approved. It doesn't last long though. As we are prepping for that afternoon study, measuring synergic differences found within various speech patterns. I'm making up all of these words. Hello, Millie. He receives the news that we to be audited. Millie? Yes? Do you want to cuddle? Come here then. Come here. She's meowing her little head off, and I realise you can't hear her because of my mic. Come on. What do you want? Attention, is that it? She wants attention. She wants to be a baby. Say hi to the people. Give them what they want. No? You just want to walk around and around me, don't you? Trying to confuse me, huh? Trying to bamboozle me. Alright. I see how it is. He receives the news that we are to be audited. Damned tentacle freaks are scrupulous. He mutters angrily. Make sure you put the seals on every file, Evelyn. Every single one. Yes, darling. What happened? I'm trying to write. It's like she knows when I'm live. She knows when I'm live. She does. Yes, boss, I say nervously. Then, when he's out of earshot, I whisper to Fitz and Simmons. And if you've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you'll know that reference. I whisper to Fitz and Simmons. What seals? Blood seals. They whisper back in unison. We'll show you. Don't worry. The auditor themselves is a strange mix of tentacles, slime, and feathers, with an owl's beak and head and small spectacles. They... Yes? What happened? God, you really want to fuss, don't you? I just had like a really long break that you could have had that for. Not good enough. The order themselves is a strange mix of tentacles, slime, and feathers with an owl's beak and head and small spectacles. I'm not ignoring her. I'm giving her so much fuss. It's just never enough. They make a rather distracting slurp. Slurp sound with each step they take as they peruse the office. What happened there? Good God. Their speech is a completely unrecognizable language, but a small box attached to their neck lights up and translates. I shall observe the first 13 minutes and 20 seconds of study. Then I shall begin my perusal of the paperwork while I continue to listen to and taste the remainder of your study. If anything does not satisfy the requirements of, what was it called? The IRB. Then one of your brains will be forfeit. You may choose whose. Well, Evelyn's. No. Seems only fair. Will draw straws. Larry replies gruffly. And that's that. Study starts off well enough. Each participant presenting as only a strange miasma of ink is required to repeat to write out the specific words presented in the script. I am placed in charge of reading out said script. And am told not to take my eyes from the paper. I manage this for some time until I am distracted. A very sudden realization that I applied a blood seal to every single page except the blank one at the end. Was it blank? Does that matter? They said every page. I glance up from the paper to see if the auditor has reached that page. When my eyes return, my brain does not process the texts change quick enough, and I read what is in front of me. Unfortunately, it is the beginning of an eldritch ritual of summoning. All at once, the ink-like participants begin flying around the room and blotting everywhere in an effort not to accidentally bring forth Azul Roth, the hungry rot. Sorry, I mutter. I feel Larry's eyes on me. And I see the auditor look up from the paper to watch. He turns a page and then another without observing. All at once, I know what to do. I wait, bide my time, waiting for the moment the auditor is about to read my mistake. Then I pointedly avert my eyes from the script and back again and complete the ritual. Or at least I almost do. The sudden gust of wind and stench of rot is enough to distract the auditor. And Larry snatches the script from me. Evelyn is new. He barks. Then you should have had her shadow you first. Preferably in the shadow realm. Or perhaps her shadow could do a better job. Of course. Is everything else to your satisfaction? There's a lengthy pause. For today. Yes. All right. So, that draws us to the end of our other prompts. Yeah, this is a very long entry, but I had 4 things happen. So let's do this. We're gonna head over to day 2, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw, and I'm gonna just I'm gonna show you kind of like one more time the cycle of play. I'm possibly, depending on how many events I draw and things like that, I'm possibly not gonna get to the end of like finishing this entry, and I'm probably not gonna get to the end of this game, but I'm almost certainly not gonna get to the end of this game, but yeah, I've been playing for sort of a couple of 2.5 hours now, and I'm still not feeling 100, so I'm gonna head off probably in the next half an hour or so. But really, in terms of showing you guys what the cycle of play is, this is basically it. You kind of loop around doing this and this, and either your tower will fall and you will lose, you will collect all your kings and you will lose, or you will draw an ace and you will begin to collect funding, and hopefully if you get enough funding then you will be able to win. But obviously with Wretched and Alone games, let's just check that. I believe it is. Yeah, Wretched and Alone. It is using Wretched and Alone. So with Wretched and Alone games, the chances of winning slim to none, and that's fine. They're kind of designed to be like that. So this is probably going to get shut down. It'll get shut down quickly if I don't start pulling from the tower correctly. Cool. So let's get rid of this. And let's see how many events I roll. One major event happens today. Okay, so I can get rid of 2, 3, and 4. So let's go to Cam 2, just to go back to this. So I've got my 1 king here, and obviously I don't like that I'm collecting these, if I'm honest, but that's just where we are. Got my pom-poms. My pom-poms are my collectibles. So I've drawn 1 event. Let's draw a card, and the card is going to be the 7 of Hearts. I know it looks like a 1 because of the way that the 7 is written, but I promise you that is a 7. So what is the deal with the 7 of Hearts? If I remember correctly, hearts is recruitment. You ask a participant for their availability. They are only free on Tuesdays. You unfurl the lab calendar and toss a handful of sulfur onto the parchment, which bubbles and wails. All your Tuesdays are booked. What will you do to sacrifice? What will you sacrifice to free up a Tuesday? Interesting. That's a really interesting prompt, actually. And also, pull from the tower, everyone. That's terrifying, but you know, that's the name of the game. This is the bit that I'm not great at. Let's pop this here so that I can... 7 hearts. Cool. Right, let's try and pull from this tower and not send it going. I gotta try and be bold. Got one. That was actually significantly easier. That one I think was... Yes. Yeah. Okay, I pulled from the tower and nothing happened to me. Let's go back to this. Let's discard this 7 of hearts. Considering how jam-packed my first day ended up being, today was light in comparison, or at least it felt that way. Much of it was spent wrangling my calendar. I've been here for so little time, and yet when a participant asked to meet me and told me that Tuesdays were the only day in all 39 calendar types that they had free, I found that my long scroll of future employment had no availability. Not for at least sorry, my long scroll, let's call it just my long scroll diary. Not for at least 3 millennia. They were only willing to live for one more. I spoke to Bob about it. He's by far the friendliest here, though gives me a lot of sass. Well, just because you have commitments doesn't mean you aren't free. I just assume that when you say things like that, I don't know what you mean. Well, your physical self will need to be present for the afternoon lab work. For the next 10 decades. But what about your astral self? I can split myself into two. I ask. Astounded. Technically 5, but yes, it involves a rather painful process called soul rending. On a scale of 1 to 10, how painful? $2,964. Lots of 10. But it's over after 20 minutes. So quick. Temporary. So I say. Is this the only way? I'd love to tell you no, but yes. Right. Cool. Well. I think I need a pay rise. You know. Get in line, kid. He smiled. Alright. So, soul rending. That's how we do it. Yeah, that was much much quicker to write, actually. Cool. So I guess we're gonna just go ahead and continue. Day 3. Let's roll this dice again. 3 events. Cool. Yeah, let's see what those events are. So let's pick this one, this one, and this one. All right. Let's get rid of that for a sec. Event 1. A queen. Oh, I don't know. Does that mean something? Queen clubs. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do it bit by bit as we have been doing. Queen of clubs. You ask the participant if they'd feel comfortable with the principal investigator watching the visit. They say they don't mind. You feel a pressure behind your eyes signaling the arrival of the principal investigator. Oh, so this is Larry. How does this visit go, knowing you're being watched? Oh, that's creepy. Okay. And this involves me pulling from the tower, by the way. Quite a lot of these seem to involve that. Okay. Let's pull from the tower. Before we get too stuck into, yeah. Let's pull from the tower. Can I get this one? Any of these? Ah. Oh. Oh, that's a bad idea. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Nice. Got it. Okay. So, I got the queen. I did that. Let's go with the next one. That's gonna be the 9 of spades. Oh no, Janine's back. The finance department asked for a 6-month-old receipt. You access the lab server and begin your search. Soon you're 53 folders deep and could swear some of these aren't lab docs. One is titled Tardigrade Poetry. Another has the name of your college roommate. Which file are you most tempted to open? Ah, that's a difference between Evelyn and me there. I want to know what tardigrade poetry's like. But Evelyn will probably be very interested in their roommate. Cool. Let's put that over. And also I'm pulling from the tower again. Guys, I don't know that this tower is going to last a long time, you know. Oh. I'm not good at pulling the tin from the tower at all. Okay. Let's pull from the tower then. Oh boy. Maybe here? I keep going from this side. This is gonna fuck me up. Ah. Foolish. I'm being foolish. Okay. Last one. 8 of Hearts. Eight of Hearts is... You send a mass email to the lab's mailing list letting everyone know you're seeking participants. Every single person sends back a one-word reply. When you string them together, they spell out instructions for a ritual. Do you follow these instructions? Ooh, interesting. And there's no pull from the tower for this one. Okay. So 9 spades. And then this one is 8 hearts. All right. I think I've got a good idea of how to maybe string these together. So, one thing I have to give this new job, it's certainly varied. No day is the same, that's for sure. Oh. Apparently we're going grey now. So you're right, no day is the same, that's for sure. I needed extra participants urgently today for this afternoon's test. Three dropped out. At the witching hour. Desperate. I emailed our entire mailing list and every single one responded, but not volunteering themselves. Each email had one word. I pondered as to what this could mean, as I so often find myself doing these days. And then realised that perhaps they were supposed to form an answer when combined. 2 hours in the hypervoid it took me before I realised that every word in the correct sequence was the name of a participant. agreed to meet them immediately. The interview was going well enough, though at one point I received a message delivered by a carrier pigeon with 8 eyes. It was from Larry. Mind if I drop in? He wrote, and after gaining consent from the would-be participant, I agreed. Suddenly, I felt as if there was a great pressure. I felt a great pressure on the back of my eyes, and Larry's voice reverberated around my head. Don't mind me, but after the audit fuck up, I've come to keep an eye on you. From inside my head, best place to do it. I can root around a little to get to know you better. Please don't. Suit yourself. He huffs. Alright. Now, tardigrade poetry or college roommate. I feel like it's got to be tardigrade poetry, right? Janine from finance called back again. She wanted me to dig up a receipt from half a year ago. One that was unfiled, apparently. She complained for about 15 minutes that Larry was useless in keeping on top of them. I decided not to point out that seeing as it had taken her 6 months to notice, she seemed pretty useless too. I spent a long time rooting around the lab's database looking for the receipt. So many folders within folders within yet more folders. The deeper I got, the weirder it got. "53 folders in, I was surprised to read a couple of document options that were not classified. One was entitled Tardigrade Poetry, which I must say is possibly one of the biggest things to spark my curiosity that I've encountered here. The other was a folder of my roommate's name. The roommate that disappeared 2 years ago. Did my employers know where she was? I looked at the time and realized I was quickly running out of it. In a panic, I double clicked and opened up the tardigrade poetry. When I tried to back out, the folder with my roommate's name was gone. Still, the poetry was quite good. I learned a lot about tardigrade civilization. For example, their oldest poet was writing about the concept of a steam train about 300 years before humans even conceived of the idea. In fact, the poem implied that they gave the human the idea because they were bored of waiting. They gave the inventor. Because they were bored of waiting for us to catch up. I wondered what else tardigrades have influenced during our time on Earth. Alright, where are we? Okay. So, I have played 3 cycles of this, and I think just kind of playing it through, you get an idea of what each cycle looks like. As I said, aim of the game is... Oh, I need to discard these, actually. Aim of the game is essentially to try to amass funding. I never pulled an ace, unfortunately, so I didn't get to start putting my little pom-pom balls on top of that ace and figuring that side of things out. But that would be kind of to build up the funding in hopes of winning the game, as it were. But what I did manage to do was almost topple my tower a number of times and find my first king. So obviously if I found 3 more kings, then the game would be over for me. And also if I toppled the tower, the game would be over for me. So honestly, not looking good for me, I would say. But what I did manage to do was do some really fun writing and some really fun, thoughtful... I had a really good fun with these prompts, actually. This was a bit of a full-on day one, not gonna lie. Lots of things happened. Tried to figure out what a lot of it was. But I felt like that helped me to inhabit Evelyn's character quite well. The next couple of days, not so long. I think it's all about kind of just refining where you're comfortable in terms of how long you want your posts to be and how connected you want the prompts to be. Because the first day, I took quite a distinct approach to each prompt, but then day 2 and 3, I tried to combine them a little bit and have them kind of lead on from each other rather than have them as very distinct, separate events. And I think that worked a lot better for me. I really did enjoy this game. I would like to try to finish it at some point. I would have to kind of set the tower up to how it was, but I had a blast, and I think that this is a really, really cool game with really, really interesting, fun prompts to kind of spark the imagination, and a bit of a different setting. It's sci-fi, but it's like a bit weird and fantastical as well. I love the idea of just being this kind of mundane lab assistant that's come in for a normal job, and they found themselves in the middle of like the paranormal department, and they're having to deal with all of these weird eldritch entities, and everyone's expecting them to know what they're doing. I thought that was a really cool concept, and I hope that in writing that I've made it weird and wonderful enough, and kind of got the vibe of the game well enough. I'm gonna head off now. Thank you all for joining me, those of you who have joined me, and I'm very excited. What am I doing next? Stream wise, I definitely will Theros this Sunday. That's going to be the next stream. We had to take a Sunday off a couple of weeks ago, but we are back this Sunday, back on the island of chaos magic, as it were. And our lovely players just learnt some very, very interesting information about kind of what's going on in this island. So I'm really, really looking forward to diving back into that with them and figuring out exactly what the story behind this island is. So that's our kind of Throsian Odyssey is our 5e set in Theros. The Mythic Odysseys of Theros book is a huge kind of source of inspiration for this campaign. And yeah, if you like to watch a little bit of D&D, or even if you just like to watch a kind of long form campaign with some amazing cast members, then come and check it out. That will be at Sunday at 3 p.m. BST. And then for sure I will be doing another solo stream. That's going to be on Thursday next week, and that will be playing I Crave the Loop by Jonathan Boyle. That game looks incredible. So to give you all an idea, it's essentially like I'm going back to Eldritch entities, but some kind of like eldritch weird creature that seems to behave and look remarkably like a cat is hunting you across a map of your home in this fast-paced RPG about snacking and pets. Can you escape with your cereal? That's the premise, and I flippin' love it. Literally, all that's happening is you are attempting to make it across the flat or your home, eating some food and finishing your food without the pet, the eldritch pet getting. Are they trying to get you or the food? It seems like they want your snack and you're not willing to give it up. So very excited for that, and I will be seeing you next week. I will also say the week after I will be playing another game of For Small Creatures Such as We, and the reason why is because due to my own foolishness, I have managed to lose the original VOD for that game, which is very sad for me. So, but it has allowed me to try to kind of draw upon a silver lining, as it were, because now I get to kind of recap what I did in that session and go through a few of like the basic character creation things and everything like that, just to try to get everyone on board. And then I will be continuing, and that kind of excites me. So not next Thursday, but the Thursday after, I plan to play more of that game and see how far we get. We were on our way to doing a bounty hunting mission, so I can't wait to try and land on the planet and figure out what's going on with this target we're trying to not murder, but definitely teach a lesson or two. Cool. Thank you so much for joining me. Is there anyone that I want to raid into? We could raid into... Oh, you know what? Resident Bard, who is the person that made I Crave the Loop. That is Jonathan Boyle. We could raid into them because they are currently doing things. Let me just check that. Yeah, Resident Bard. They made I Crave the Loop. They made a game called Terminus, which I also want to play at some point. It looks really good. So yeah, great game designer there. And yeah, let's raid into those. Into them. So from now, words. This is why I need to go to bed. For now, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a lovely time zone wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Cheerio!